So obviously it's been a little bit of time since October of 2014 after the release of The Amazing Spider-Man, which saw the death of the Spider-Man franchise at the hands of Sony. And of course after that date we had Kevin Feige go in there and start, ushering in the new deals that would change Hollywood by bringing a property they didn't even own back into the realm of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now of course the first time we saw the introduction of this character was handled by the Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo, in Captain America Civil War earlier in the year. And of course with that we knew that there was going to be a brand new Spider-Man movie coming in 2017 called Spider-Man Homecoming. And from this point on, we all just assume that Spider-Man is permanently in the MCU. He's going to show up whenever they need him. When they're in New York, he's going to be there. And he's a guarantee for Avengers Infinity War. Or at least that's what we thought. Earlier in the year, we of course had the Russo brothers say that they have up to 67 characters that they're considering for Avengers Infinity War. Now how many of those they use, it's really up in the air, but we assume that the big heavy hitters are going to be there. Well, recently Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland, while promoting his newest movie in New York, which is the Lost City of Z, he kind of got to sit down and talk to them. And first off, he goes on and talks about the suit. And he says it's not the greatest thing, but sometimes it's very uncomfortable, but he just has to constantly remind himself that he's in a long line of actors who wish that they could do this, who have worn the suit, and they wish they could have kept on doing this. And he, at the end of the day, he doesn't care that it's uncomfortable because of how blessed he is to have this job. But along with that, when they ask him if he's going to be reprising his role in Avengers Infinity War, he says, and I quote, "It's all up in the air. I believe some sort of deal is in the mix, but I'm unclear as to what the deal is." And I think honestly he's telling you the 100% truth right here. This is still the early days of this deal. I mean, this deal is literally unprecedented that two rival studios who make rival movies and have different investors are working together. And let's be honest, in the early days when they structured this deal, they probably made an agreement that he would appear in 2 or 3 movies. But this is still largely a Sony thing. Sony could go after Homecoming and say, fine, screw it. We're still going to do a Sinister Six movie and we're going to rush it, which would then in turn possibly ruin the MCU because people are now going to know that this is a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. So this is very troublesome. So these kind of deals are going to take some time to work out, to really, flesh out the details and what's going to go where. I, in my heart of hearts, believe that yes, Tom Holland is going to appear in Spider-Man Homecoming, but it's going to be another one of those things where Sony's going to say, okay, he's appearing in the biggest movie you guys have coming, the culmination of the entirety of your franchise. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. What are you giving us? We want Captain America in costume in the next movie fighting Green Goblin. And if Marvel doesn't agree on that, well, guess what? Spider-Man's not coming to Infinity War. So it's going to be a, give and take deal between the two, but I'm assuming that they're going to work it out because, once again, it's for the benefit of the fans, and Sony does not want to screw this franchise up like they did the last two. So I think it's going to happen, but, it's nice to see that he's kind of being honest here. So now I want you guys to let me know, do you think this is going to happen? Do you think that Spider-Man is going to possibly be left out of Avengers Infinity War? And how do you think that's going to be perceived if that does happen? Let me know down below. I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say.